Hey there, bike people. Welcome to Cyclecraft TV. I'm Brendan, the owner of the Cyclecraft Cycling Center, located on Route 46 in Parsippany and all around the world at cyclecraft.com. So this is episode 2 of the Vaast bike build. In the first episode, we kind of explored the mental issues that I have with having too many bikes and my desire to kind of condense my collection down to just one. And so we're looking at building that Vaast A1 or all-road frame set with a parts kit that would allow me to do all different types of riding. Road riding, mountain biking sort of, gravel riding, bike packing if I wanted to, grocery getter, a versatile bike that does a lot of things pretty well, but it doesn't have to be perfect for all of those things. The goal here is to have one bike that doesn't cost as much as 5 bikes, so while this will be somewhat of a more expensive build than you might normally expect, it's certainly cheaper than owning 4 different bikes. In the first episode, we talked about all the different types of parts that I might want, and I asked the crowd to help me source those parts. But unfortunately, I've got a Jones to ride this new Vaast all-road frame set. So what I'm going to do an interim step. I'm going to take apart my Van Hoff ACX. So basically, this is a cyclocross bike that I kind of had set up as a gravel bike. So what we're going to do instead now is I'm going to take all the parts off of this. I'm going to get my A1 all-road frame set from Vaast, and I'm going to start putting some of these parts onto that bike. Now, I will say that I've already got a lighter weight handlebar, stem, and seat post combination that I was kind of figuring I would use on the all-road build. Notwithstanding any of the recommendations that we get from the hive mind in terms of what parts we are going to use on the bike ultimately for the finished product. But in the meantime, this is not going to be a bad bike. I've got Force 1 mechanical drivetrain and hydraulic brakes, 1x11 Force drivetrain, and I've got some nice zip wheels on there. Although I think for this build, I'm probably going to go ahead and jump the gun and get myself a pair of 650B wheels from Reynolds to start the build out. Anyway, the first step is going to be taking this bad boy apart, stripping down all the parts, and then in part 3, we're going to start building the Vaast all-road one. So, join me on the journey. Thanks for watching episode 2. Here we go with the strip down. All right, so step 1 is going to be taking all these parts off. So as a rule of thumb, when every once in a while, you probably want to check your bottom bracket to make sure it's not filled with gunky water. Look at that, gunky water. right, well, that's all there is to it. All the parts that I'm going to use on this frame are taken off, even with all the tomfoolery that we had going on. What did that take, Joe? About 20 minutes?
20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes to take all the old parts off. So now what we have to do is we're going to have to gather up the new parts, handlebar, stem, some other little parts that we're going to be putting on the Vaast frame. One little hiccup that I ran into, though, was my Chris King bottom bracket, which is warranted, but I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get that back from Chris King. Unfortunately, that did the old Explodo, and we're going to need a new bottom bracket. It's a T47 step down to, this is a GPX. So I may actually be switching to a dub bottom bracket. So it'll be a T47 step down to dub. That's a Sram standard, because I'm going to be using a Sram power crank on the new build. So that's all there is to it for now. Step 2 coming up. We're going to take the other frame out and see what parts we can use and what we can't, and move on from there.